Hi, I'm Jen Muse. I'm the manager at the Mount Sinai Physio Lab.
Hi, my name's Hannah Kittrell, and I'm the director of the Mount Sinai Physio Lab.
The truth is, there's no one way to create an exercise routine that's going to be effective, but there are certain guidelines that you can follow to make sure that you're getting the health benefits that you'd like. The first is consistency. So, right now, the recommendations are to get between 150 and 300 minutes of physical activity per week. So, what that boils down to is generally between 30 minutes to 60 minutes, 3 to 5 times per week, depending on how you organize it. Right here at the Physio Lab, we do recommend aiming for that higher limit about 5 times per week for a couple of reasons. One, we see that the benefits of physical activity are cumulative. So the more you do it, the more benefits that you get. It also decreases your risk of injury when you're doing it more consistently. And of course, it's easier to set up a habit when you're doing it on a daily basis as opposed to trying to find time at different points throughout the week. The next most important part is variety. What you're going to try and mix it up between is moderate intensity aerobic activity, vigorous intensity aerobic activity, and resistance training. Generally, you want to aim for between 2 to 3 times of resistance training per week, with the rest of the time split between moderate and vigorous intensity activity. A really easy way to know the difference between the two is to use the talk test. If you are able to sing along to your favorite song, that's light intensity physical activity. When you're talking in sentences but you're not able to sing along, that's going to be moderate intensity. Moderate intensity. And if you are in a position where you're like talking those really short staccato sentences, you're probably in that vigorous zone. And lastly, make it fun. Exercise that you don't enjoy doing, you're probably not going to do as frequently. And the truth is, it really doesn't matter how you get your heart rate up as long as you do it. So, a dance party in your kitchen can be just as effective as going for a bike ride in Central Park. And if the activity itself isn't doing it for you, bring along a friend and amp up the fun factor that way. So that's pretty much it. You want to mix it up, you want to make it fun, and of course, do it every day, or at least most days.
Yeah, absolutely. So, first of all, I think it's important to point out that, seeing progress from your workouts, no matter what your goals may be, is a long-term effect. So, it does take time. But some tips if you're feeling frustrated right now and maybe not seeing the results that you want to see. First, it's really important to make sure that your goals are specific and attainable because this makes it easier to track your goals. So, you want to make sure that it's not a super general goal, as those can sometimes be difficult to track and you might actually be making progress and you just don't realize it. Another point, which Jen mentioned already, is that variety is really important. So, variety and progression of your exercises. And the reason for this is because your body is really good at adapting to exercise. So, exercise is a type of stress that you put your body under. And as your body experiences the same type of stress over and over, it will adapt. So, what this means is if you're just consistently doing the same exercise over and over again, eventually you'll see a plateau in results and performance. So it's important to either change the type of exercise, the intensity, the number of reps you're doing. You can change it in any way you want, but it is important to keep that variety. And then finally, exercise isn't the whole picture. So any sort of health related goal, exercise is very important, but so are your nutrition and your rest habits, your sleeping. And you want to make sure that your nutrition and your sleep habits align with your exercise habits and that they're also working towards the common goal that you have. So, the reason that we think taking a personalized approach is so important is because a lot of the recommendations that you find online or that are given to you by equipment in the gym are generalized recommendations. So, they're meant for the general public. They're often based on formulas, but they don't speak to your innate physiology. And of course, as humans, we're all individuals, and typically a one size fits all approach doesn't work. So, as an example, let's say that you have a goal of losing weight. When you exercise, there's two main energy sources that you burn and that give you energy during exercise. One is fat and one is carbohydrate. So, you typically burn fat when you're at rest or during low to moderate intensity exercise. And then you shift to burning more carbohydrate at higher intensity exercise. When you're on a treadmill or an elliptical in the gym, you might have noticed before that they'll often highlight a fat burning zone. And the equipment isn't calculating this fat burning zone based on you as an individual. It's giving the same range or the same ideal range for everyone. And it's usually based off of a percentage of your maximum heart rate. But in reality, we know that some individuals can continue to burn fat at very, very high intensity of exercise, whereas other individuals can only burn fat up to moderate intensity exercise. So it's a range that really differs from one person to another. And these are the types of individualized things that are important to know so you can fine tune your exercise programs so you're efficiently meeting your goals. And that's the approach that we really think is important as fitness and exercise professionals. And it will round out your program and just help you achieve your goals more quickly and then progress more quickly as well.
It can be a really wild world out there on the internet, especially when you're trying to get concrete information. And so, if while you're going through this process, you think that you would like a little bit more targeted direction, one of the recommendations is to reach out to an exercise professional. You want to be looking for either a certified personal trainer or an exercise physiologist credential. And of course, you could also come into the physio lab and take advantage of our metabolic equipment as well as our exercise physiologists that we have on staff. When you're here, one of the things that we do deliver is, of course, the data points that Hannah mentioned before, but we also include an hour-long counseling session afterwards in order to really define what all of the information means and help you figure out how to apply it into the realities of your daily life. For more information, feel free to reach out to us directly at physiolab@mountsinai.org or check out our website on the Mount Sinai site just by searching Mount Sinai Physio Lab.